three sentences that I'm always reminded of in my mind. One is that this is something I always tell myself: history is never going to repeat itself. Two, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. Three, the why behind Homeostase. If you're new here, my name is Laetitia Lukusa. I am the founder of Homeostase Clinique de Bien-être. I recently had an event and the client asked me, hey, how did you get started? That's where I realized that I never talked about this. And there are three things that stand out for me that makes Homeostase being what it is. Being an entrepreneur, if you don't know, it's incredibly hard, especially here in Montreal. And things never go according to plan, and you need to have solid, like your mindset, your mental need to be solid. And people give up too quickly when they just need to rest. And for me, what keeps me going is three sentences that I'm always reminded of in my mind. One is that this is something I always tell myself: history is never going to repeat itself. Two, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. Three, I forgot what three is. Oh, yes. Three is this is not a priority. With history never having to repeat itself, it's like I look at both my grandmother on my dad's side of the family, on my mom's side of the family. I just look at how things turned out for them. They both had 5 kids. On my dad's side of the family, his dad young, he was 9 or 11, or 11 or 15, 11 or 13. And then how the life turned out, it was hard. And then on my mom's side of the family, yes, my grandfather did die as well, but she was separated from my grandfather way before that. And she also had 5 kids, and the kids were split. And with that, it's like they couldn't take care of their kids. Both of them couldn't. They got married young. They didn't have their own money. They didn't have skills per se to generate income to be able to take care of their family. And those things, yes, it has affected both my parents, my mom on her side and my dad on his side. But all of that has trickled down, and it has affected us as a kid as well. Coming back to the sentence of if you want me to leave, I'll leave. And this is something that I heard my mom say often. Unfortunately, she never left. This is why I say my mom is the strongest woman I know. I definitely would have left. But again, it comes down to the fact where, okay, she was going to leave and go away. And she didn't want to leave her kids behind, right? So she probably told herself too that history is never going to repeat itself. We never had that conversation particularly, but I know she didn't want to leave her kids. And she stayed. And there were some consequences, and there were a couple of things that happened. But for me, hearing that sentence growing up, I told myself that I'm never going to say that sentence because I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave, and I'm going to make sure I have everything I need to leave. And I'm going to leave, and you're never going to find me. That was a promise I made to myself. And then the last sentence being, this is not a priority. I remember exactly what day that was. I was with my dad. I needed him to do something for me. And I'm sure he was busy. He had a whole lot of stuff going on. And he was just like, no, not right now. This is not a priority. Because I kept on asking. I really wanted it to do. I never got down. And I never got done. And I lost money. I lost the money. And I was like, that was never a priority. And that taught me, it's like, if my own dad, that's what does not put me or my needs or what I wanted to do as number one as a priority. I'm not saying that it was like that all the time, but that very specific instance was important to me because I always think about it, I always remember it. And I'm like, if he will say that, is it someone else's son that's gonna put me as number one? Or that's going to make sure that everything that I want is a priority? No. And then I realized that I was my own priority. I had to make things happen. So if I wanted something, I will go get it. So a lot of people describe me as a go-getter. I never give up. And no matter how hard things get, I'll make sure I see through to it. It was pretty interesting. So what keeps me going is all those 3 sentences, but also because I am a woman. The word woman, I am a woman, and I'm looking at their lives, and I realize that there are, unfortunately, a lot of disadvantages being a woman. I'm sure there are advantages too. Okay, I love being a woman, but I realized that I just couldn't wait for somebody to come save me, because there's nobody coming to save you, to save me. And I've lived that, I've seen that happen so many times and so many different circumstances, different scenarios, but still the same outcome, right? We're buying equipment, and people always treat you some type of way, or people will discourage you. And I realized that people love to project a lot. And also looking at the trends, I realized that women like me, when you're young, they'll call you stubborn. When you come up to marrying age, they will call you not the marrying type. And then when you get to a certain age, they will call you a witch. So it's important that no matter what season you find yourself in life, you are able to take care of yourself. And this is what I've been able to accomplish with my business. And this is why I never give up. This is why I keep pushing. This is why no matter how hard it gets, I will still show up for myself, for my client, for my business, because I have those three sentences that are the driving force that will not let me rest and give up. And the purpose of this video is just to show the behind the scene and just to show my journey. And hopefully one day when my son is old enough, he will be looking back at these videos and be like, oh my God, that was my mom, and oh, that is my mom. And I admire her strength. Or if one day I have a girl and I'm no longer here, and I want her to see that. But also to encourage any other women out there who might have faced similar adversities, or who have been told that you will never make it, you can never make it, or that there's no money in Montreal, or that you can't start a business with $0, because trust me, you can. And as I start this journey, this is the page. I will dedicate this page to just showing the behind the scene, talking numbers, talking business, talking marketing, talking about what it takes to run a successful business from the ground up. Again, success is relative. To me, what I have accomplished is successful, but to some person it might not be successful. But in the day and age we live, I've realized that a lot of people don't know how to make money. I don't even think this is something they teach you at school. And even all these people that sell these courses, they don't tell you, they don't show you how to make money. They give you system and processes. Yes, those are important, but they don't show you, and they don't tell you how to because technically you can't say you make from $0, but they don't show you how to flip $100 and turn it into six figures, for example. I like to say I started from zero because there was no inheritance, there was no money. I had a job, I had two jobs. I lived below my means. I lived in someone's basement. I was paying $400 at the time when I arrived in Montreal. And then quickly the price went up to $500, but that was still pretty good. I was able to buy a car. I was able to buy a massage bed. The idea was that I was going to offer mobile spa services. I bought a couple of towels from Amazon. I bought nail polish. I bought nail stuff. Yeah, things that I wanted. And then from there, everything I made from that side business, I put it back into the business. And I am where I am today. When it comes to making money, generating money, people will always tell you to invest in stock, in bonds, and all of that, which is great. You do what suits your personality type. But for me, investing in my own business has proved to be quite profitable. But one thing you need to remember is that revenue is not the same thing as profit, okay? And when people approach me for opportunity and be like, oh my God, you can make such and such money in such and such time, and you don't have to do anything, you just need to invest this amount of money. And I just look at it, I'm like, no. I've lost money in something similar, and I learned my lessons. And for me, I have devised my own way through the services that I render on how to multiply money. I remember a year ago I was telling someone how I could turn $69 into $1,000. Only because I have the skills for it now, and I have everything in place. I have like all the equipment, everything is required. All I have to do is just buy the thing, advertise, and then I'll turn that $69 into $1,000. Yeah, so obviously I'll be sharing those little things with you, and if these are the kind of things that interest you, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you at the next video.